Diddley! Yes! A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, shit!
Headquarters in West London and employs some highly unusual work practices. John Stapleton reports.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Couple of results I want to talk about that were increased yesterday.
Whatever else might be said about Programmes Limited, no one could deny that it's different.
And on ITT, Joe upped it by 10%. And on network technology, it was up by 23%. So, congratulations to all the people who worked on those projects.
After all, where else does the entire staff not only turn up for a daily 8:15 a.m. conference, but just as regularly give their managing director a round of applause.
Okay, good morning.
The place positively oozes vitality. And just in case anyone's enthusiasm might be waning, there are frequent pep talks.
I want you to use me today because see, I'm not on the phone, so I can see areas that you can celebrate. So really use me today. Will you do that? Yeah.
All this, incidentally, is a mere preamble to a unique method of charging themselves up for the real work, which begins at 9 a.m.
Use the countdown. Okay, should we have the countdown? Yes! Bo Diddley! Yes! A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, shit!
We do actually achieve outstanding results.
Programmes Limited claims to be the biggest telephone marketing service in Britain.
Now, at this stage, could you see a possible use for a service like ours?
Every day, its 130 employees make up to 5,000 calls, selling on behalf of other companies everything from canned meat to computers.
I was just phoning actually to round things off really.
How many have you actually got running at the moment? 10.
They also take on market research work, help firms set up conferences and make appointments for sales reps.
Good afternoon. I'd like to speak to Val Warden, please.
Yeah. Programme's list of clients now includes such industrial giants as IBM, ICL and Hitachi.
From Programmes.
They have also undertaken work on behalf of government bodies, such as the Manpower Services Commission and the Department of Industry.
What I'll do then, I'll send you confirmation.
Come, David.
With a map.
However, until recently, most of these big companies and government bodies knew little, if anything, about the strong ties which exist between Programmes Limited and the man who runs another, much more controversial company.
My name is Robert Daubeny, and I am the group leader. And those are the only two pieces of information that you need to have about me.
Robert Daubeny is the founder of an organisation called Exegesis.
Now,
Exegesis runs courses in what's described as personal growth. Put very simply, that's helping people realise their true potential by bringing out the positive aspects of their characters.
Thank you. Okay, you may acknowledge each other.
Some 6,000 people have been to seminars like this.
Now, even you can't screw this up. And
however, critics say that Exegesis is a potentially dangerous organisation.
Now,
they say that for some, Exegesis courses can be psychologically harmful.
Well, I think that people can be broken down. There's great emphasis in our society on the need to break people down before you can rebuild them. But sometimes people can be broken down in such a way that it's very difficult to rebuild them.
I just don't like it.
Well, no, you don't like it. Nobody said you had to like it.
The criticisms arise because of the methods Mr. Daubeny uses on his clients.
Or I'll bounce you out.
This group, who paid £175 for a 3-day course, found themselves locked away for long spells in a hotel room.
What don't you like about your face?
Spots at the moment.
Their watches were taken away, drink and tobacco was forbidden, and they were not allowed to go to the toilet unless instructed.
Bullshit.
No, it's not. It's real.
No, it's bullshit.
Oh, do it!
Some of them were also harassed, harangued, and humiliated.
Squash you. So you better push fast. Now, hard. Do it. That's it. Do it. Again. Push. Good. 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 Again. Yes.
So how long is the little girl role going to be played? How long are you going to play being a little girl?
That I'm going home.
Eventually, this man decided he wanted to leave. It wasn't as easy as he imagined.
You're not going to get out of here, Morris. If you do, you're going to get floored. You hired me, Morris.
Yes.
I'm a very good employee.
And now I...
No, you don't. Listen, if I have to end up in jail over this, I don't care. Now you're going to play the dog on the floor. You'd better roll over and placate me. You need to get back to your seat and pursue this through to its end.
I don't want to.
I don't care. You hired me to stop you.
Now, Mr. Daubney, still the high priest of the exegesis movement, is exerting what appears to be a more benign authority on Programmes Limited. Mr. Daubney was born Robert Fuller, the son of a meat salesman from Loughton in Essex. He had a short spell at drama school and later studied under a number of Indian gurus. Talking publicly for the first time about his links with Programmes Limited, he described the precise nature of his association with the company.
I'm a major shareholder in the company. I helped to start it. I design the business systems that go into running this company, and I also provide training to implement those business systems.
You haven't, until now, made this fact public. Why?
Didn't think anyone was particularly interested.
Could I put it to you that you have kept it secret because you are concerned about the possible detrimental commercial effects your links with the exegesis movement may have on Programmes Limited?
Yes, you could put that to me.
And what do you say to it?
I didn't say anything to it. But the fact remains that it's actually irrelevant. Exegesis is an entirely separate company.
It is indeed. It just so happens that many luminaries in the exegesis movement also hold senior positions with Programmes Limited.
Hop on the spot.
Take Kim Coe, for example. If Mr. Daubney is the high priest of exegesis, she is the high priestess.
That looks to me like a group of people willing to make their lives work.
With regards to working at
Ms. Coe, an exegesis director, is a staff trainer with Programmes Limited. And she makes it abundantly clear to new recruits like these that Programmes is far more than just a telephone marketing service.
The principle that we run on and that this organization depends upon is the fact that the only thing which satisfies is the experience and challenge of personal growth. If you are here simply to have a job, you will find the situation very uncomfortable. This is a growing, learning environment where you are literally being trained to become leaders. So the purpose...
Sitting at the back of the room, another Programmes trainer, Judith Kramer. One of the original exegesis directors, she used exegesis graduates to help her campaign when she stood as a Liberal in the last GLC elections. A Liberal Party spokesman said officials were horrified when they found out. Managing Director Elizabeth Gluck is also an exegesis graduate. Indeed, every one of the company's 130 employees has been on at least one exegesis course. Knowing what that involves, knowing that Programmes Limited is a commercial application of the exegesis philosophy, Dr. Clare thinks that the people they sell to should also be concerned.
Sales technique is where I would have expected these movements would put their emphasis, and right enough, that's where it is, because they are very good salesmen. That's how these movements began. They sold themselves. Now they're in the business of offering themselves to big business to sell anything and everything. So for a time, at any rate, while the general public are relatively unsophisticated, they're going to be, to some extent, at the mercy of high-pressure salesmen, a new kind of high-pressure salesman. But it'll change as they learn, through this kind of revelation and others, that in fact this is what is going on, and that behind the facade of a apparently fairly innocuous business is a sort of cult where people are, by a variety of pressures and blandishments, turned into what are little more than contemporary industrial robots.
Yes, I confess, they're brainwashed, robotic, totally lost individuals. Go and talk to them.
I have been doing.
Good, then you don't need the answer from me. What do you think I'm going to say? I'm going to say that those people are not robotic, not brainwashed, naturally. That's what I'm going to say. Go and ask the people. You don't need to ask me leading questions like that.
I just merely want your response to the criticisms being levelled against you.
You've got my
response. Which are very
response.
serious ones, if I may say so,
I
Mr.
think they're
Daubney, and...
Right, brilliant. Now, can I know your name?
Robotic or not, there's no escaping the dramatic effect that exegesis courses have had on the young people who now work for programmes. The place is replete with bankers, teachers and doctors, all of whom have given up their chosen professions, and in some cases salaries of more than £20,000 a year, to come and work here for only a quarter of that amount. Their reasons for doing so are much the same.
Well, my last job was in the Government Economic Service. I was there for 3 years, working for the Department of Transport, then Environment, and Department of Health and Social Security. And then I went to Cambridge to do a master's degree.
What on earth made you give up a career like that to come and bash telephones here for £5,500 a year?
Well, I just didn't. When I was in the Government Economic Service, I went there because I had an idea that I could use some economic ideas to put the world to rights, if you like. I've always thought that. And I mean, I found that I didn't feel I could. Now, this is one place where I feel that any ideas I can have would have an effect.
There's no doubt either that the exegesis philosophy of personal growth influences the way they operate when selling on behalf of the big companies and government bodies who use their services.
I'm sorry, it's a terrible line. Can you speak up a little bit, please? For the 16th at 11 o'clock.
The atmosphere on the floor here is something akin to that of the stock exchange on one of its more frenetic days.
Order! Yes!
Brilliant. Every time an employee makes a sale, they're encouraged to let their colleagues know all about it.
Order! Yes!
Telephone managers or team leaders mark up their successes on boards using symbols which act as incentives to the rest of the team.
Kieran, I've just won bonus, and that's something I've never heard of.
And while most of the businessmen we spoke to were impressed by their selling technique, a few thought it a bit heavy-handed.
Sound heavy, to put it out there.
Indeed, one executive said he had to threaten legal action to stop programme staff pestering him.
Phoners here are very enthusiastic on the telephone. That enthusiasm is threatening to some people in this country, that's true, but it is just enthusiasm.
Hey, should we have the countdown? Yeah!
Perhaps the most bizarre atmosphere is the twice-daily countdown, ritualistically enacted at the start of the day and again after lunch. Do you not think that some of the people who operate, who are your customers at Programmes Limited, would be concerned by the link with exegesis?
I think they all know about it. We've made a point of letting them know exactly what, if it's applicable, of course, what goes on. They're always fascinated by how the place looks. They're fascinated by the degree of energy that's put into things and the enthusiasm, and usually the discussion leads to what's behind it, and they're told.
So you're telling me that IBM, ICL, Hitachi UK, the Manpower Services Commission and the Department of Industry, to name but a few, yes, are all fully acquainted with the link between Programmes Limited and the exegesis movement?
As far as I'm aware, yes.
We contacted those 5 organisations and the 6 companies listed in the Programmes Limited publicity brochure as being examples of firms who are happy with their work. Nearly half of them, including the Manpower Services Commission and John Courage, the brewers, said they had no idea about the link between Programmes Limited and the exegesis movement. Most of the rest, IBM among them, said that they did know about the link, but were not fully aware of what the exegesis movement involved. And the majority of these companies said that they only found out about that association from a third party. Only one, a spokesman for a company that did not wish to be identified, could confirm that programme staff themselves first told him about the link between programmes and exegesis. He added that, having done so, they then tried to recruit him into the exegesis movement. As well as selling on behalf of other companies, Programmes Ltd also trains outsiders in telephone marketing techniques.
Thank you, goodbye.
Not all have been happy with the courses. Staff from Lyons Tetley, who didn't know about the link with Exegesis either, were upset at the apparently harsh nature of the training.
24th of May.
Lyons Tetley management cancelled the second part of their course.
That feels good.
What big companies like IBM and ICL may now have to consider is, do they want people with such a commitment to the exegesis movement acting as their agents? Particularly bearing in mind that, in common with some of their competitors, programme staff sometimes give the impression that they're on the staff of the big companies they're working for.
Hello, good afternoon. My name's Nadia Valentina from the Cavendish Consultancy, and I'd like to speak to Mr. N. Cole.
Just the sound.
Particularly bearing in mind the controversial nature of the exegesis courses.
Breathe through your mouth.
In this exercise, recruits were subjected to what's known as hyperventilation. Dr. Clare explains how it works.
The person is encouraged to breathe very quickly, rapidly, much faster than the normal breathing rate. That brings about changes in the blood. Oxygen and carbon dioxide changes. Oxygen goes up, carbon dioxide goes down. That's associated with certain sensations, physical sensations, lightheadedness, dizziness, panic in some cases. I mean, some people actually, their panic attacks, ordinary people, their panic attacks are due to overbreathing and are treated by getting them to breathe out of a paper bag. In this instance, they're using the phenomenon of hyperventilating to increase anxiety, arousal, and suggestibility, because there's some evidence that in that state, people are a bit more receptive to whatever it is they're being told or being encouraged to do.
Well, I think the brain needs a bit of disorientating, considering how rigid we all are, don't you? I don't know. That's a ridiculous assessment of it. The purposes of hyperventilation, the techniques used in the seminar, is probably worthy of a 2-hour conversation, but not of an interview like this.
That's, with respect, an easy way to dismiss a very serious charge.
All right, but I'm dismissing it.
What Mr. Daubney cannot dismiss is the effect that an exegesis course is alleged to have had on this man. Ashley Doubtfire was a successful businessman and one of the pioneers of hand gliding. 18 months ago, he and his wife Melanie went on an exegesis course. At the time, exegesis screening procedures, designed to eliminate from the course those who couldn't endure it, were, by their own admission, inadequate. The result? Exegesis officials either ignored or failed to discover that 15 years earlier, Mr. Doubtfire had suffered a nervous breakdown. According to Mrs. Doubtfire, a state-registered nurse, and his father-in-law, business consultant Mr. Chris Howard, the course caused Mr. Doubtfire to suffer 2 more nervous breakdowns, both of which resulted in him being committed to psychiatric hospitals.
I noticed a change in his behaviour on the way home in the car on the Sunday evening after we'd been to the Exegesis seminar. His action became quite bizarre. He felt that he could put the world to rights, sort out all the conflict between Brezhnev and Reagan, and thought he was a very powerful person, which is part of what they teach you on the last day, on the Sunday. They build you right up on the last day and say that it's within you to do most of these things. Yeah.
Can you be really sure that this was a direct result of actually going on the exegesis course?
Without any doubt whatsoever. The change was dramatic, it was sudden, and we had known Ashley for some time before this happened, and I can say I've never experienced a situation like it in my life.
Do you accept that there are people to whom that will happen?
Yes.
Does it bother you?
Well, it bothers me that we have had, in the early days of exegesis, we had, our screening process wasn't as good. It's now very good. The particular case you're talking about, that young man was actually mentally, had a mental problem, a mental breakdown before he came along.
So you would accept that for some people, like this young man, it is potentially dangerous?
It is dangerous for people who have an unstable personality, yes.
A few months ago, while still in hospital, Ashley Doubtfire died of a chest infection.
I remember doing one for...
You're doing the David Bailey act on the
I did something...
Apparently undeterred by such controversy, the people at Programmes plan to make more inroads into big business. Having worked on the telephone, staff are encouraged to start their own companies. This one, in the corner of the Programmes office, hires out models for exhibitions and shows.
She's just managed to stand completely for someone else, which is really good.
Mr. Daubney explains the philosophy behind such schemes.
Most of the people that you see around the tables here are really being prepared, trained to run their own organizations, their own companies, so that I can get an opportunity to fulfill the objectives which I have, which is to create as many platforms as possible so that I can participate with my team to demonstrate my theories and ideas about how to make an organization serve the real needs of an individual.
And your interest in these companies which these people will create, would that interest be purely financial or altruistic or both?
Well, I think it involves all those things. It probably involves a good deal more than that, but certainly financial interest, as well as what you call an altruistic motive.
So you are looking to create for yourself and these people a much bigger business empire.
OK, what I'd like to do is call him back. Could you suggest a good time?
Just as some fringe religions have spread their tentacles into other sections of society, so exegesis disciples plan to do the same.
Yes!
Yes! For remember, this is no ordinary company. It's part of one man's plan to change people and society. So they say they'll soon be opening a school for the children of exegesis graduates. They're looking for land on which to open a university. And they also want to build community centres. The countdown for all that starts next month. In the meantime, they'll continue to exert their seemingly boundless energy on big business.
Okay, ready for the countdown? Yes! Bo Diddley countdown.
Yes! 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, shit! Order! Yes!
All right, you takers, don't ring us, ring exegesis, please.